Good.
Got a multi-camera thing going and everything.
And then we've got cue cards and everything. It's profesh.
It is. Okay, can you please introduce yourself?
So I am Kelly Jones, and I am a playwright.
Fantastic. And what is My Mother's Funeral all about?
So My Mother's Funeral is a play about the cost of dying. It kind of follows a young theatre maker called Abby, and her mum dies at the very beginning of the play, and then she finds out quite quickly that funerals are really expensive, and is like, how the hell am I going to afford that and give my mum the dignified, beautiful burial that she's asked me for? So she decides to go to a theatre and pitch a play about what she's living, and was like, I'll write you kind of the working class, gritty story you want in order to get some money to pay for the funeral. Thinking that's a really good idea. She's like, that's not a dangerous thing to do at all. I can sell my biography and I can make some money. And then drama ensues from there, you know.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What can audiences expect from the show?
So I think it's really important that, like, whilst it is about death and it is about not having any money, it can feel like that subject is going to be a bit bleak and the play is going to be a bit depressing. It isn't at all. It's very, very, very funny, and that is quite intentionally funny, because I think we don't talk about death enough, and I think the funniest moments I've ever had have always been at funerals. So yeah, I think it's funny and quite light-hearted, but he's also got a really serious point to it. And
can you summarise the show in 3 words?
God.
I know.
Oh my God, that's really hard. 3 words. So meta, funny, Dagenham.
I'm so excited. I'm sat here like, tell me more.
So can you introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Emma, and I am the writer and performer of I Really Do Think This Will Change Your Life.
What is I Really Do Think This Will Change Your Life about?
I Really Do is a play about multi-level marketing schemes, get-rich-quick scams, girl boss feminism, and all of those promises that you see online. That's like, sign up to my business and you can change your life. You can live this incredible, flashy, rich lifestyle. But it's really about what's going on underneath that and how we can tackle that and break through the barriers of it. I think we've all got to the point where we see through the pretense of it, but it's how we actually break them and how they keep popping up and they keep reinventing themselves. So it's a story kind of about how what we dream about, what we aspire towards, and how we've kind of commodified that and made it something that we buy into.
What can audiences expect from your show?
Chaos.
Good, I love that. I love chaos.
Chaos. But it's really bright, colourful. We've really tried to, like I say, replicate that performative, theatrical, digital world of these schemes and what you see. So it's really bright, colourful. There's lots of movement. There's lots of sound design. There's lots of video. It's really immersive in the digital world, I think. Can
you describe your show in 3 words?
No.
I wish I'd said that. No.
I'll try. I would say colourful, fun, and loud.
So what are you looking forward to most about Edinburgh?
Oh, so many things. I think I'm really looking forward to being around other creatives, seeing all the shows, being able to immerse myself fully for a month in just like a creative hotbed. Have
you been before?
I've been on other people's shows, but this is the first time taking my show up.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it's
exciting.
Exciting, terrifying. All But I love it, and I always leave feeling so inspired and so fulfilled and so there's so much rich, gorgeous stuff to sink your teeth into. So what about you?
Yeah, I haven't been since 2010, so I haven't been to Edinburgh.
Wow.
Yeah, Yeah, because it's so expensive, and I'm always like, every year I'm like, I really want to go, and then I leave it too late. I'm just really excited for similar reasons, really. Like, you get to see so much work and so many different stuff as well that you won't get to see elsewhere. Just like meeting people, spending time like talking about theatre, talking about writing, you know, and just being an artist for a month.
Yeah.
You know, it's like almost gives you the permission to go, just for this month, I am at the Fringe where I'm allowed to be an artist and my ultimate artist self. Yeah. You know, because I've got a show on as well, I can walk a bit different, you know. I can be a bit like, oh, you know. Yeah. It just giving you. I'm obviously nervous, you know, as you say, because it's, you know, it's the Fringe and it's like a big thing. But I'm just really excited to just get up there. Yeah. I also love Scotland anyway. Yeah, it's a lovely place.
But I think you're so right. Like, you spend so much time, especially as a writer, like thinking, prepping, planning, like imagining, and you don't really get the chance to enjoy that for a whole month where you can go, I'm focusing on this show, and being able to go,
I've got a show on.
That's what I'm gonna be doing. And so I think it's just to be able to take all of that hat off and go, this is the living, breathing thing that I made, and that's something to celebrate.
Because you don't know if it works until an audience is sat there watching it and telling you it doesn't, or it does, you know, and you go, and that joke you fought to keep in the rehearsal room because you're like, no, it's so funny. When it doesn't land and no one laughs, you go, oh no, but I'm not as funny as I thought, you know. You only know that when it's, you know, otherwise we'd be novelists. Do you know what I mean? Like, a play's only really complete when it's in front of an audience, and it's, we'd only really know what it does and how it works and what it's saying when it's up on its feet.
Definitely.
People are coming in to watch it.
And seeing that every day. And I think that's something I'm really excited about. Obviously, I'm performing in it as well.
Yeah, oh my God,
So I think being able to have those live reactions of going, oh, why did that work today and not yesterday? Or what's the difference in the room? Or I think it's a real masterclass in how to understand audiences. And you're never going to get everyone, and it's never going to work. And there are a lot of people out there that don't find me as funny as I do.
No, oh my God, no.
But being able to, like, understand that is such a treat. It's such a treat, and I think, it is the like real unique thing about Edinburgh. You can just learn people. So, how has the Mercury Playwrights Scheme helped your show on its journey?
So, I came up with the idea for my mother's funeral when I was on the Mercury Playwrights. So I was, as part of the programme, it was like you had to obviously come up with something and kind of chat to Kenny, who is an absolute ledge, just about your ideas and things like that. And I was like to Kenny, I'm working on this, you know, this is the one I'm going to do. And then this like thing happened in my life and I was like, oh my God, like I really want to write about that. And then I was like, oh, can I change my idea? Am I allowed to do that? Like, what does that even mean? You know, am I just like, you know, when you're writing the thing and then there's another thing over here that starts going, oh, come and look at me instead. I was like, is it just one of those moments where I'm just getting distracted by something else because I'm finding this one quite hard? But actually I spoke to Kenny about it and Kenny was like, no, like if that's what your instinct is telling you, that's what you should absolutely write.
I think that's the hardest thing as a writer though, isn't it? It's like, you're so influenced by you living and you moving through the world, and it's like, oh, but you're constantly updating yourself and your life and your experience, and it's like, how do you keep up that in what you're writing about?
And you don't want to lose it either. If you've got that little flicker of a flame for a story, you don't want to just put it to the side for a little bit while you do this other thing. Sometimes you have to because like the job is calling you and you've got to pay your bills. So but like sometimes you get, like if that little thing is over there, even if you just scribble it down, you know, and just write into like what that feeling is, like it always comes out. But I came up with it on the Mercury Playwrights idea, and then after that kind of Dilek was like, it's a really great idea, we really like it and we'd love to kind of find a way of making it happen. And then the Mercury obviously applied to the new Playwrights Commission scheme by the Writers Guild, and then we got it, and then that's kind of how it, and then Payne's Plough came on board, and so it's kind of really because of the Mercury that the play exists, and because of Kenny's support as well. I was like, it was a weird time to be on the Mercury Playwrights, but also the perfect time because it was just in the pandemic, like everything got into lockdown. Was it the same?
Yeah, I was probably the year after you.
Yeah,
and I was in one of the lockdowns.
Yeah, one of the lockdowns. It was one of them.
But yeah, the same. I think you guys had to pitch like 10 ideas to Kenny, didn't you? See, we only had to pitch 3.
Oh my God, that's so much easier. I was like, this is a play about when I went to the shops the other day. I was like, oh, idea number 9. Idea number... yeah, it was a lot of ideas.
Yeah, luckily we only had to pitch 1. But again, it was the play that was calling me. I think I pitched 3, and there was some that was like, oh, I could write about this, but this was the one that for me, I kind of, like you were saying, love theatre that's meant to be theatre.
Yeah.
Like multi-level marketing, online sales, it's so performative. It's theatre in itself, I think that's where I'm really drawn into a play. And I think Kenny, really encouraged that. And he was like, yeah, this should be a play. This shouldn't be a TV show. This shouldn't be like a short film. This should be a play because it's about performance. And I think like it was just amazing to start with that idea. And for me, it's my first play as well. So it was really amazing to kind of have that seed of an idea and then just go through the redrafting process, go through the notes process, and then we did it obviously here at the Mercury last year, and now to get the chance to do it again with the Mercury support has been really, really special, I think, and really I feel in a really privileged position as a first-time writer to have the chance to develop it over a really gradual period of time, because I think there's so much pressure with your debut to get it right first time.
Yeah, of course.
You're kind of rolling around, but the Mercury have been amazing at supporting in it all its different iterations. And
that's
stuff.
incredible.
So,
I think it's really rare for a writer's programme to lead to so many productions by the people that are on those groups. Like that's a really, I've done all of the groups, you know, I've done quite a lot of them. But this is, I think, is the only one that's kind of led to a commission and then a production. And that is really, is that similar to your experience?
Definitely. And I think I feel really, really lucky. It's so hard to get a play on. It is,
it's really difficult, and there's no money around, you know, and these schemes are to give you the time and space to like develop your writing and to work out the things you want to say as well. So they are really important, and sometimes they don't have to lead to a production, but it would be great if, you know, if they all could, you know.
And to have the experience of being supported by a scheme whilst in the room, I think that was really like amazing for me, because I think I can sit in bed and write a play. Being in a rehearsal room where you go, oh, that line isn't how I imagined it in my head. What am I going to do? There's a cue to cue tomorrow, or there's something like this. And then being able to have the support of the Mercury alongside that process as well has been so important. And I think, I feel like I've almost had like a training scheme on how to do it.
But like on the job sort of thing. It is. It's quite nice.
So I think that's been really special. And like, I owe a lot, I think, to this scheme for being able to do it.
I think one of the things that is amazing about it is it isn't a scheme that teaches you how to write. Like everyone on it is a writer and can write, and it doesn't go, we're going to teach you about 5-act structure, we're going to teach you, you know, how to construct a scene. You know, it's like everyone already knows how to do it. This is about you and the idea, really, and about how you get that idea to the best place possible and how you get that idea made. And that is really rare as well.
Yeah, definitely, that focus on getting it staged. And I think Kenny always says, well, the idea is this goes on. Because he's like, you want to get it produced. And I think keeping that in mind as well has been really how to be a writer, not how to write. And I think that's been, really important for my career development as well.
And we've mentioned Kenny quite a bit. Like, Kenny is amazing. Like, I owe him so many beers and so, like, so much love. Like, because without him, this play would not have got to the place that it got to. And I think it is so important that that group is run by someone who is a working writer and he's done so much in, like, this sounds like a tribute to Kenny now, you know. But like,
love you, Kenny.
But it is so important that it is run by someone who is a working writer and has worked in lots of different fields in the industry, and is really honest and upfront about the realities of it as well. Like, it's not like, oh, it's really lovely, you know, because it is lovely, but it isn't always. And Kenny never kind of shied away from that. It was like, this industry is really hard, actually, and that's really brilliant to have that.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I think, and also someone that works regionally as well.
Yeah,
like, I think there's so much pressure on, like, you have to get this show on in London, and it's like, no, why is this at the Mercury? Why is this at East? Like, really championing those voices as well. And yeah, I feel like it's been, really revolutionary in how I view writing. And as much as it's been, this is really hard, it's like, but you can still do it.
Yeah, you can still do it. And there's definitely a view, like, if you're from a region, like, you have to go into London to work. And that was definitely kind of what I was told when I first started writing. But actually, it's like, actually, no, you can write about where you're from, like, and it also can go on in the place you're also from as well, you know, and can do really well there. It doesn't have to go to London, you know.
Yeah, definitely. But what has your experience of producing new writing been like, and what hurdles have you overcome, and what is still to go?
It's a big question, isn't it? So I have done a lot of self-producing in the past. It's tough, you know, unless you've got money, it becomes really difficult. I think as a working class artist, I don't think this industry often makes space and gives enough support to those of us that can't afford to be in this industry and have to self-fund and all that sort of business. I think it's really difficult for new writing. At the moment, there's not enough money around for commissioning, you know, so it's becoming harder. Like, when you're going to places, the certain shows they're looking for and things like that.
Yeah, exactly the same. I think the big thing that no one ever told me was you have to do unpaid work to get the money in order to get paid work. The amount of time, I would probably say I spend 60 to 70% of my time applying for things that will pay me. And rather than doing the writing and having self-producing, like, all of that, and going, oh my God, but I'm having to spend 4 days of unpaid work writing an Arts Council application in order to pay myself, and then you're like, but then that's 4 days of unpaid work that I've just done, and it's that kind of cycle of going, I just don't know how sustainable this is.
You go, how long can you realistically kind of can do that, you know? Sometimes there's a lot of stuff you do for free, like, you know, they'll go, send us an idea document, or send us a draft of the play even. You wouldn't say to a builder, come and fix my wall in my house to prove you can fix walls, and then I might employ you to actually fix the wall. Or then I might not. You know, that just other industries don't work the same. And it's quite difficult sometimes.
Absolutely. I think I completely agree. It's just how you fix that is becoming, like, even more, because we all know no one has the money and no one has and we're all kind of in this together, and I think that's why it's so refreshing to speak to other writers as well, because sometimes I'm just like, is it me? Am I doing something wrong? Am I missing something? And I think, especially as, like, quite an early career writer, it's like going, is this normal? Should this be normal? And how am I going to sustain myself for the rest of my career whilst this is the way that it's working? And I think it's really hard to juggle. Like you said, do you go all in full time, go, I'm only going to focus on my writing, I'll get the bids, I'll do the applications, I'll find the money, I'll apply for this grant? Or do you take a part-time job and then do it in between? And I think that seems to be the kind of ultimatum that I've not quite worked out yet. And I then find myself working a full-time job and then writing in the evenings and then getting 4 hours sleep. And
it's sad, And where does your well-being fit into that? Like, how do you manage your well-being at the same time? I've never not had another job alongside writing, even when I've been doing stuff, you know, like I have, like, lots of little side hustles, you know, that I can pick up and do, you know, at different times, you know, and things like that. And sometimes I've had, like, complete full-time jobs, but I've, you know, managed to convince them to let me do my hours in 3 days, so then I can have 4 days off to make theatre, and, you know, but, you know, you go, the dream is to just be writing full-time, but that's not the reality, unfortunately. I think there are lots of things now that are changing. I think there are lots there is, I don't know if you've seen recently, about the writers' flash mob. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Obviously, that's writers coming together to talk about these things, because writing's a really lonely job, you know. And the more we talk about these things, and the more we challenge organisations, and the more we ask for things that we need, and say, actually, it's not okay to ask us to write a full play for free. It's not, you know, I can do a pitch document. I'm more than happy to do a pitch document, but I'm not going to do 8 drafts of the pitch document before you tell me you don't want the idea. You know, I think the more we speak to each other and find out what each other's being asked and what we're going to do about that, I think that will help change things. But I don't think it should be on us to fix.
Yeah.
Like, we can't do it, you know, we've got plays to write.
Yeah.